Things are happening in Blue Jays land. Holy cow, dude. The last 24 hours has been insane. Outfielders on the way out.
That's why they call them outfielders, right? No?
Bradley Zimmer and Raimel Tapia DFA'd
Gone.
yesterday, saving the Blue Jays $6.5 million. Teoscar Hernandez traded to the Seattle Mariners this morning.
What are we getting
Eric
back,
Swanson,
Scott? What are we getting
Eric
back?
Swanson, right-handed pitcher, and Adam Macko, which was the number 8 prospect in the Seattle Mariners system, left-handed pitcher in high A, probably gets to start with the Canadians.
But man, what a great name he's got
next year.
What a great
Adam
name he's got.
Macko. Hey.
Hey, we'll have to get some merch made up. All right.
So let's get into this a little bit here, buddy. Yeah. I think the biggest takeaway is for all Jays fans to just take a big breath. This is some fairly major news. We have talked about maybe the need for a shakeup within this organization, and I think this is what is happening. Yeah. Teoscar Hernandez has been a mainstay with this team since 2017, coming over from the Houston Astros. He has put up dingers for this team. He has been a huge bat in this lineup for the last, half a decade.
Yep.
So there are some emotional feelings when a guy like this leaves your team, and it is a bummer. I'm sad to see Teoscar go. Now, from a logic standpoint, let's zoom this microscope out a little bit. Because obviously in a vacuum, it does feel like the Mariners are getting the best of the Blue Jays in this particular trade for a few reasons. Number one, whenever you just get a bullpen piece back for a major offensive piece, it doesn't feel even.
This is reminder with Teoscar Hernandez, a 2-time Silver Slugger who's gotten MVP votes. So.
Yes. 30-plus home run guy multiple times.
Yeah. Are you surprised that he wasn't a part of a package for something more? Something more. Like you said, just the bullpen arm and a prospect.
Blue Jays fans might hate this. I'm not really surprised that this is the return. Listen, Eric Swanson was dominant in that Mariners bullpen. He instantly becomes the highest swing and miss guy with the most strikeouts in our bullpen. Okay. He's 29 years old with 3 years of control. ARB eligible just this year. So he's going to be cost effective.
Yep.
The fact that $20+ million has been cleared off of this payroll in the last 24 hours says to me something big is coming down the pike, dude.
Well, we have a hole in the outfield now. Who do we have left in the outfield?
We went from 5 outfielders yesterday to 2 outfielders today. And obviously you can say 4 if you want to include Whit Merrifield and Kevin Biggio in the outfield. But they're more the utility guy that are going to get some reps out there, but more for roster versatility than the fact that they're actually
absolutely
the best outfielders. You don't want to go
into the season saying we have a guy who can play outfield as your everyday option in the outfield. Especially, hate to say it, when you've got George Springer, who more likely than not gonna miss some time next year.
This trade, in my opinion, man, is so much more about trying to balance an unbalanced roster. You brought it up perfectly, right? We currently in center field have a 33-year-old, 6'3", 220-pound center fielder. Go back throughout the history of Major League Baseball. The bigger the dude, the less time they wind up in center and the quicker they move to an outfield. We've got a prime example right within the Blue Jays organization looking back in history, and Vernon Wells, who at 32 was moved to a corner outfield and once moved to a corner outfield position, thrived for those first 2 years. So I think what is going to happen, we are going to see the Blue Jays target a Brandon Nimmo. That is my dream.
Oh, that's a good one.
Now
New York
that is
Met.
a pricey proposition, but my guess he's probably going to get somewhere in the $20 million a year range. Funny, that's just the number they cleared off the books.
Hey, you're onto something here, Scott.
Nemo's going to take some term. They probably got to give him 4 to 5 years. It's Toronto, so 5 years. Let's just say 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Other options out there, Michael Conforto, another former Met, another lefty bat, not as proficient in center field as, let's say, Nimmo is. However, if you go that route, remember that Whit Merrifield is also proficient in center field. I'm not sure if proficient is what you would like there. You'd probably like a mainstay, but I think it's a shifting landscape.
Yeah.
So let's go back to what we received with Eric Swanson.
Right.
Let's bring up his stats. Ben Nicholson-Smith, friend of the show,
here we go,
has laid it all out here. Very nice for us.
So right-handed pitcher Eric Swanson is an elite back-end reliever with a 34% K rate and a 4.9% walk rate. That's what you want to see out of your relievers.
Do you know how many guys, Jays fans, are striking out 1 out of every 3 batters? That they don't exist on this Blue Jays team.
To be fair, it feels like all of baseball, but it's not.
It's not.
So 3 years of team control remaining. The 29-year-old is described as an awesome right-on-left reliever as well. His baseball savant page looks like this. So thanks to friend of the show, Ben Nicholson-Smith, for doing the homework for us.
Like, take a look at that savant page. The only area he's not a lead in is velo. And where he tops out at 94 miles an hour.
He'll fit right in with the Blue Jays. We don't like too much cheddar on our pitches, that's for sure. Those are nice numbers, though. I see a lot of dark red on that baseball savant page.
And think about how much deeper this makes the bullpen. All of a sudden, Anthony Bass is now, instead of your 8th inning guy, your 7th inning guy. All of a sudden, Yimi Garcia is your 6th inning dude. Like, if Hagen Danner and Nate Pearson do anything this year, I know. But who knows? I honestly don't even believe that this front office is done with the bullpen. I think there's still another piece to be added here.
Well, if we weren't going to get an Edwin Diaz or a Robert Suarez or one of those top tier free agent relievers,
this is the route they had to go.
This is the route they had to go. I'm happy with this. Am I satisfied? No, but I'm happy. This is a good start. And this, like you said, with the outfield, there's got to be more moves coming. I'm so excited. Is this a massive shakeup, trading Teoscar? I know we've been talking about it all season long that this was coming. Are you surprised that it actually did? I'm a little bit surprised that it actually did.
I'm a little bit surprised, but by no means shocked. And I think that this truly is going to shake up the clubhouse a little bit. Mm-hmm. Again, Teoscar is one of the longest tenured dudes with this team.
Yep.
Going into his age 30 season, just a reminder that he is a free agent at the end of this year, and it doesn't look like he's the type of piece that this front office is going to add long term. So the idea that they're clearing $14 million off the books, which is what he would have received in arbitration this year, the fact that they are filling a high leverage role in the bullpen. And let's face it, man, that Adam Macko, he is also a big swing and miss guy. Out of 60 batters, he struck out 60 batters in 38 innings. He struck out 60 batters in 38 innings. Sorry.
That's almost
tough to get there. That's
almost
insane.
That's like 15 Ks per 9. I mean, single A, but
yeah,
it's definitely, you'd rather be good in single A than bad in single A. So no, that's
exactly
very encouraging.
Lefty arm. lefty,
arm.
right?
These are also, again, these are the kind of guys that we do need. Like, there's value in replenishing a farm system, right? Like, we saw how badly we missed out on everything this past trade deadline because our farm system was so depleted. So maybe Adam Mako is a guy who puts together a nice season, has some, the trade piece next year or the year after that.
And again, in a vacuum, yes, the Mariners probably won this trade. But if you look at the big picture and the money that is now floating around and available in Blue Jay land, something is coming, gang. And I can't wait to see what that is.
You know what this feels like? I was watching David Samson podcast from yesterday, and he was talking about the Yankees moving forward into the offseason with a budget that includes a big contract for Aaron Judge, right? You got to get the budget approved by the ownership. That's what I'm kind of thinking of right here with this. We've got to get $20 million off the books because I feel like the Shapiro-Atkins duo has gone to Rogers and said, here is our requested team payroll for 2023. And they I don't know what number they came back with, but
no idea.
Said, here's what you got. Here's what you got to work with. And I think the response has been, okay, well, we wanted to spend more than that, so now we're going to have to cut somewhere else, right? If the budget was going to be 180 and we wanted 200, well, let's shave 20 mil off the books, and that's what this step feels like. It's the first of hopefully many, but I think we're going to be active.
And if we look back on what all of our gripes were throughout this season, an unbalanced roster truly was it. It was so right-handed heavy, and I think that this truly is an attempt to balance it a little bit more and to move Springer out of right field, but only time will tell. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. This episode has been brought to you by BetStamp. They're partnered with us. BetStamp is an aggregating site for your betting needs, I guess. So basically, like Trivago would do with hotels, they are doing with betting sites. So if you're going to gamble, you might as well make as much as possible on those bets. So they're going to put in order all of these betting sites. You're going to be able to line shop and find which one is paying out best and go from there. Okay, buddy. Anything to add here? Teoscar Hernandez out. Eric Swanson and Adam Mako in.
Let's just leave it out to the viewing audience. We want to hear from you. What do you think happens next? What's the next move this team
Who
makes?
are they getting, guys? Like, who's coming in, gang? Because there's no way they're going into this season with two outfielders. So something's happening.
You don't just subtract when you make a first-round exit in the playoffs. So there's definitely something coming. Let us know what you want to see the Blue Jays do over the next week. So I'm really excited. Let's wrap it up there. Who knows? Maybe we're hopping on again later today. And
that's the dream.
About the crazy trade for Jock Peterson or something like that.
This Toronto Blue Jays outfield has become a lot less crowded, my dude.
We've done it. We've made room for Aaron Judge.
The Yankee slugger coming to Toronto. I think it's a done deal. Honestly, though, man, $20 million cleared off the Blue Jays payroll in the last 24 hours and all
big time stuff.
All from the outfield. So hello, everybody.
Something's coming in.
Something's coming in. Hello, everybody. I'm Scott Belford, joined as always by the best co-host in the biz, Adam Mack. This is the walk-off, and we figured we'd do a quick little video here speculating on what the Blue Jays are going to do next. So this is where you can comment if you want and let us know what you think the direction this team is going to take, because there's a big question mark as to what they are going to do. Like Adam and I just said, two outfielders are currently holding down the fort for the Blue Jays, and Lourdes Gurriel Jr. and George Springer. Obviously, Kevin Biggio can play a little outfield. Obviously, Whit Merrifield can play a little center, but these are not the guys that I think are going to fulfill this position. So where do they go from here?
Well, we have some options. Let's pull up this Scott Mitchell for another show tweet. So he's specifically highlighting lefty outfield bats. I do feel like given the running theme all year last year that kind of nagged at us with that right hand heavy bat or lineup.
Unbalanced roster.
It's
Yep.
it's almost has to be a left-handed outfielder, unless you're bringing in a superstar
Yes.
right-handed hitter. But
Mr. Judge.
Mr. Judge, well, yeah, Mr. Judge.
That's not happening, by the way. We're joking, everybody. We know Aaron Judge isn't coming to the Jays.
But the thumbnail will make you think he is.
Yeah, that's right. You clicked. That's on
clicked.
you.
That's on you. Right. All right. So left-handed outfield bats of differing values on the trade market potentially. This is from TSN Scott Mitchell, friend of the show. So we got Brian Reynolds, Max Kepler, Seattle Mariner, Jesse Winker, Ian Happ, Jake McCarthy, Alec Thomas, Lars Nootbaar, best name in baseball, and Cody Bellinger.
Right. See, and you look at that list, and Reynolds, Nootbaar, Bellinger, they can all play center. Because I think the goal of this Jays front office is to get George Springer out of center field, move him to right, which is going to be a far less strenuous position on his body as a 33-year-old who has had injury problems. Yeah.
Lefty outfield free agent bats. Now the list includes Brandon Nimmo, Andrew Benintendi,
give me Nimmo, baby. Give me Nimmo.
Michael Conforto, Michael Brantley, and Jacques Peterson, who just accepted the qualifying offer, but could still be traded. Anybody on that list? I know you just raised the roof for Brandon Nimmo.
Listen, Brandon Nimmo is the dream, in my opinion, because he is not just a lefty bat. He's a big lefty bat. He's going to slot in to the middle of this order. He is a very good center fielder, but he's probably the most expensive option out of everyone on here. Brian Reynolds, I'm a big fan of course, center fielder for the Pittsburgh Pirates. He's under control. I didn't even look, but I think he has 3 years left on his current contract. And same sort of idea as Nimmo there, where you're going to be adding a guy you can kind of put into the middle of that batting order, or at least fifth, break up the right-handedness of these big righty bats the Jays currently have. There are options out there. So let us know. Who do you think? Like, something is going to happen, gang. There's no way that they are subtracting without adding. There's no way they clear this sort of money, $20 million in 24 hours, and nothing's going to happen. Something's coming.
I've been saying it since last trade deadline, but I still think Cody Bellinger. That's a great buy low, high ceiling candidate. I know he's been kind of dog poop for the last couple of years in LA.
Incredible defense, though.
Elite defender. Fresh scenery, man. Sometimes that's all it takes, right? So,
World Series MVP.
He's, playoff experience is a big thing. Man, there's just so much upside with Bellinger. Plus, I don't think he would cost that much. Like the Dodgers
and the
do not seem to be enamored with him. The acquisition cost may not be that much. The salary, I think he's a free agent after this year as well, similar to what Teoscar is status-wise. That could be a guy that you could sign to an extension and isn't going to be $20 million a year, right? So maybe Bellinger plus leave some wiggle room for some more pieces.
Jay's front office has a relationship with the Dodgers front office as well. We have watched them make moves with them in the past. Stripling. Yeah. Big time.
Okay, so let's bring up this John Morosi tweet then, because this is the reason we're here. This is the breaking news. No, not breaking news, but let's pull it up. So John Morosi, double check that this is the real John Morosi, by the way.
John Morosi, great at firing up fan bases. He loves to release a rumor that just makes sense.
So John Morosi here, the hashtag Blue Jays are showing interest in free agent outfielder Brandon Nimmo. Sources say the trade of Teoscar Hernandez has freed up a spot in the Toronto lineup. to add the left-handed bat they've lacked. Now, you don't really need sources say.
I was just going to say the sources are
an
his eyeballs
observation.
looking at a roster. Yeah.
Yeah. So kind of interesting there. It's news, but it's not news. But it is nice to see like an actual legitimate baseball insider. Is that what's the right word for a John Morosi? Expert,
Yeah.
analyst, insider?
Yeah, I would say insider.
Someone who can afford $8 a month for a blue check mark is connecting the dots between Brandon Nimmo and the Blue Jays. So almost certainly they're going to make a run at somebody. Brandon Nimmo would be a great candidate. I don't think they're in on Aaron Judge.
I don't either.
Crazy talk to me.
No.
Honestly, at the cost it would take to bring Aaron Judge in, I wouldn't even want the Jays to do it.
No, I don't either. Not when Rogers has made it abundantly clear that there is going to be a cap. And who knows? The dream is maybe they let him spend right to that $220 million luxury tax. That's what I would like to see Rogers do. But there's definitely a number, and Aaron Judge would push that over. So Teoscar Hernandez is out, gang. Who is in?
Let us know.
Gotta wait and see. Let us know what you think. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. You can follow us on Twitter at Walk Off Podcast, Instagram, the Walk Off Podcast. Join the Discord. The link is in the show notes. Take care.